The Demon Hunter franchise marches on with this newest installment, which finds an aged Dawn working on an Egyptian archaeological dig when she gets mixed up with the magical gauntlet containing all the powers of the Egyptian gods. It's up to her niece to harness the power, travel through time, and wield it to save the world from the evil machinations of Set. But what about the hidden object criteria? It's not an issue this time. The game is careful to present overstuffed chests, piles of treasure, stacked market stalls, and other locations in which haphazard assortments of items might well appear. The screens are artfully drawn as well, with items blending seamlessly into the background, always feeling like a natural part of the scene. There's a fairly large problem with anachronism, however. A good percentage of the game takes place in ancient Egypt, yet modern items like compasses, candlesticks, and leather boots show up in scenes. The screens retain their Egyptian flavor all the way through, so it's not like assets from other games were repurposed, more like the artists weren't as careful as they could have been. It's a mix of 12-1, mini-puzzle, and collection scenes, so a decent percentage of the screens are entirely plausible. Unfortunately, the game frequently leans on a frustrating design choice in the collection scenes. The player will be asked to find 12 of something, but most of them will be covered up entirely by an object, locked in a chest, hidden inside a pot, concealed behind a map, and so forth. The problem with this kind of screen is that it flies in the face of hidden object location. The entire point of the genre is to look at a screen and identify items secreted away within it. With this type of screen, the player is asked not to carefully examine their environment, but rather just randomly click on items until one of them moves, or a message hints that they need to find a key or a knife. It's not as bad as the memory-based screens that Elephant Games is inexplicably fond of, but it's not a lot better either. Pretty well, though the game's story feels strangely out of place in the series. While familiar puzzle types have all been given a solid Egyptian coating, and anachronisms aside, the hidden object scenes feel on brand, the story itself seems random and arbitrary. Demon Hunter has always been about a red-eyed occult investigator battling demons as they try to invade the Earth. The first two dealt with the same demons 2 attempts, while the third offered some backstory on the main character and tied everything in with the demon hunting order from Grim Legends 3. It was fantastic. This time, however, if one were to change the name of the main character's aunt, there would be nothing at all to make it feel like part of the series. I've played plenty of games in which archaeologists run afoul of ancient spirits and gods, but that had never been this series' thing. Moving it in that direction just makes it feel more generic, which is always a tragedy. Check out this portal the main character finds in Egypt. Here it's just a standard stone arch, but on the map screen, the artist has pretty explicitly rendered it as the Stargate from the movie Stargate. It's an extra hour-ish that's at least as good as the main game, although it answers a question that wasn't asked. During the main game, the player meets this woman whose brother has been grabbed by Set. There's nothing to suggest that she's not an Egyptian that needs help. Yet in the bonus chapter, it's revealed that she and her brother are modern-day people, and she's the one who found the gauntlet in the first place, kicking off this whole mess. It's a huge surprise that comes without any setup whatsoever. While the game is completely competent and has some great hidden object scenes, I couldn't help but be disappointed to see the Demon Hunter series go so wildly off track. No demons, no order. Dawn doesn't even have red eyes anymore. Sadly, the game's title makes it impossible for me to divorce my expectations from the finished product. It's a good game, but had it been presented as the first item in a new series, I probably would have enjoyed it more than I did. This review has been based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, just click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. See you back here for the next review, but until then, au revoir.